Do you guys care about Keke Palmer interviewing Blueface?
Can't wait.
I'm surprised.
In the next breath, she praises a lot of men with it.
I had no idea what y'all. You see people like my mom always talks about R. Kelly performing live. The way he connects with the audience. That's something that you can't.
Mom,
R. Kelly.
terrible example of that.
Why don't y'all gonna stop coming at my boy Kel?
So Keke Palmer is catching heavy heat online right now, and it's tied to Joe Budden calling out what he claims is her jailbird fetish loud and clear. The mess popped off after Keke jumped on a live stream with Blueface, and folks instantly started side-eyeing the move. Joe Budden made it clear he wasn't feeling it at all, saying he can't rock with celebrities showing public support for people wrapped in non-stop legal chaos. And Keke ended up right in the crosshairs.
There's a long list on Keke Palmer.
Then it went up another level. Budden hinted that things didn't stop at the livestream, claiming there was a private hangout afterward that raised even more eyebrows. According to him, this isn't random behavior either. He says it fits a pattern.
Keke Palmer, I'll try to tell you. Keke Palmer, they say, is... Well, you familiar with the whole shit she went through with her and her baby daddy when she said that she was being used, and then he put out a story that kind of painted a different picture. They kill her for her Trey Songz story, highlighting him as an abuse.
He brought up Keke previously standing beside men like R. Kelly back in the day, Chris Brown during his public fallout, and more recently Jonathan Majors before his court situation played out. Joe says the receipts speak for themselves, and the internet is eating it up.
But in the next breath, she praises a lot of men with abuse.
I had no idea what y'all.
What's really making the noise louder is the silence. Keke hasn't clapped back, explained, or shut anything down yet. And that quiet has people running wild with their own conclusions. Blogs are circling, timelines are split, and the pressure is building fast as everyone waits to see if she finally breaks her silence or lets the storm keep spinning. So this whole thing really kicked off when Joe Budden sat down on his podcast and decided to crack open Keke's recent live stream with Blueface, and he did not tiptoe around it at all. Joe started by reminding everyone that Keke herself has spoken openly about being a victim in past situations, which made this whole move hit different in his eyes. He basically said, knowing what she's been through, he expected more awareness and better judgment from her, not moves that blur the lines. Then Joe went harder. He questioned why, in his words, she keeps showing public support for men with messy, controversial backgrounds, calling it a repeated pattern that doesn't match the image people defend so fiercely.
But every time a black person says, are y'all ready to have the Keke Palmer conversation? What happened in your group chat and what happens here every time I say it happens. It happens every time.
Is it because we watched her grow up and we love her so much? That people don't want to have uncomfortable conversations about?
To him, that contradiction is wild. He straight up said you can't speak on accountability 1 minute and then look the other way when it's someone with clout or buzz. And here's where it really stinks. Joe claimed this isn't new behavior at all. According to him, Keke's fans ignore this side of her every single time, protecting her image and brushing off criticism like it doesn't matter. He says that's exactly why she keeps skating past backlash while others get dragged nonstop. And that favoritism is what finally pushed him to speak up this loud. And this is where the situation really takes a sharp left turn. According to people close to Joe Budden, he's not backing down at all, and allegedly plans to call out what he sees as Keke's hypocrisy head on. Joe hinted that he knows more about what went down after that Blueface livestream, and he's been teasing details about a small, private gathering that supposedly happened off camera. He made it clear this wasn't just a casual run-in, at least not in his version of events. Now, to be clear, these are claims, but Joe insists he's not just talking to talk. He pointed back to moments during the live stream itself where Blueface was making suggestive comments toward Keke that viewers clocked in real time. Things like him telling her to go lower.
That's right, go lower, Keke. There you go. Don't fall. Go lower, baby.
raised eyebrows instantly and had chat blowing up, with people already questioning boundaries. Joe says those moments are part of why he believes there was more happening behind the scenes. From Joe's perspective, this is the proof he's been building toward. He's framing it as behavior that doesn't match the public image Keke's fans defend so hard. Whether he actually drops more specifics or not, the way he's teasing it has already sent blogs and timelines into a frenzy, and the speculation is only getting louder by the hour. And now Keke is heated. But here's the thing, Joe Budden doesn't think he's crossed a line at all. From his point of view, this isn't about one live stream or one moment. It's about a pattern he says has been playing out for years. He's arguing that the Blueface situation didn't come out of nowhere, and that Keke has a long history of standing next to controversial men while the public gives her a pass every single time. That's the part he says people don't want to talk about. Before Blueface, Keke was already getting dragged online for sitting down with Jonathan Majors on her podcast, Baby, This is Keke Palmer.
We put a lot of pressure on her. After she announced, and we talked about this last week, that she was going to interview Jonathan Majors after she came out and tried to get y'all to rally behind her after she alleged that her baby daddy threw her over the couch and used her and just emotionally, mentally did all types of things to her.
The episode titled No Easy Answers, Accountability and Moving Forward with Jonathan Majors was scheduled to release around April 8th, and the announcement alone set social media on fire. Critics felt the timing was wild, especially with Majors dealing with serious public scrutiny, while supporters argued she was creating space for conversation. Either way, it became a mess fast. The episode description only turned the heat up more. It opened with talk about accountability, calling it a heavy word in a moment where people are demanding real consequences, especially for behavior men have historically avoided responsibility for. To Joe and a lot of critics, that framing felt tone-deaf and contradictory, given who was sitting across from her. That interview didn't just raise eyebrows, it reopened debates about judgment, image, and why Keke keeps ending up in the middle of these storms again and again. At the same time, forgiveness feels harder than ever, and people are still arguing about what real accountability even looks like in public spaces. And that's exactly why folks felt a way about that interview choice. This is the same Jonathan Majors who was publicly accused by his ex-girlfriend Grace Jabari of inappropriate behavior back in 2023, allegations that were already dominating headlines and conversations everywhere.
So Jonathan Majors was found guilty on some charges stemming from this domestic dispute. Now, this all stems from an incident that occurred in March of this year between Jonathan Majors and his ex-girlfriend, Grace Jabari. They were in a car, and evidence that was released during the trial showed them outside of the car. Now, what Grace Jabari alleged is that Jonathan Majors struck her in the head, also on her arm.
Given how serious and sensitive that situation was, many felt Keke should have known better to hand him a microphone at that moment. Fans didn't just whisper about it either. They went in loud. The backlash was nonstop and unavoidable. Eventually, Keke pulled the episode, but by then the damage was already done, and critics said that move felt more like cleanup than accountability. And according to Joe Budden, that controversy was only scratching the surface of a much longer history. Joe actually brought up an old moment to back his argument. Years ago, Keke sat down with the Breakfast Club and openly called R. Kelly one of her inspirations. When the hosts pushed back and challenged her on his deeply troubling past, she reportedly refused to acknowledge it at all.
You see people like, my mom always talks about R. Kelly performing live. The way he connects with the audience. That's something that you can't. R. Kelly. Y'all don't stop coming at my boy Kales, okay? You don't like these stories are a little crazy about R. Kelly, and if you look at them like, well, you know, the last people that they were talking about were over the age of 18. Well, there was one that they said since she was 14. Stop with I don't know this side.
That moment resurfaced fast, and Joe used it as proof that this isn't a one-off mistake, it's a pattern.
She spoke very highly of R. Kelly when she was on The Breakfast Club, like very highly, extremely highly.
In Joe's eyes, this is why the criticism keeps coming back around. He's saying when you repeatedly overlook serious allegations and controversies, people are eventually going to stop giving you the benefit of the doubt. And right now, that grace Keke once had is wearing dangerously thin. Unfortunately, R. Kelly isn't the only controversial name tied to Keke's history, and this is where critics say the pattern keeps getting louder. Keke has also gone out of her way to publicly support Chris Brown, even when his past controversies were already widely known and debated. She was spotted standing right next to him at one of his after-parties, a moment that instantly sparked chatter online and had blogs pulling out receipts fast. And it didn't stop there. Earlier this year, Keke was also seen attending his Breezy Bowl 20 show in Toronto, which only added more fuel to the ongoing conversation. Fans and critics alike question why she keeps showing up in these spaces when she knows how divided public opinion already is. To many, it felt intentional, not accidental. Then came the video that really set people off. Keke posted a clip saying, "I really wish that people would stop messing with Chris Brown. I ain't saying he's perfect, I don't know him like that, but I mean, I wish we would pray for mothers instead of hating them." That message hit nerves instantly. Some saw it as empathy, while others felt it brushed past serious concerns way too casually. On top of all that, Keke even welcomed Chris Brown's then-girlfriend Karrueche Tran onto her talk show Just Keke as a visible show of support.
Now, I remember when you and I had a conversation right before everything started getting really crazy with Chris Brown, and I said to you, "How is it? Is everything okay?" And you were like, "Well, it's not me. It's just my boyfriend's a celebrity." And
Right.
I actually felt really bad in that time because you have a girl who's just a girl from California who ends up falling in love with one of the big pop stars of our time, and you're hit with all of this drama. I mean, what was that like? I mean, would you be down about it? Were your friends there? I mean, how did you find a way to really move forward through all of this and keep going?
Just keeping a level head and positivity. I've never dated a celebrity before.
To Joe Budden and plenty of critics, this wasn't random kindness. It looked like another clear example of Keke choosing loyalty over accountability. And that's exactly why the backlash keeps circling back around louder every time. Of course, a lot of fans felt like Keke was way out of pocket after that, and the backlash came fast. Some people straight up said she was being disrespectful to Rihanna, especially considering the history tied to that whole situation. Social media lit up with criticism, and Keke didn't let it sit quietly for long. She jumped on Instagram and decided to defend herself head on, making it clear she wasn't backing down. Keke said, "So let's talk about this. So Rihanna fans feel a way about my interview with Karrueche. I have enough respect for Rihanna to address the topic." She went on to explain that no one had ever really heard Karrueche Tran speak openly about parts of her experience before, and she felt people were projecting intentions onto her that weren't even there. According to Keke, folks were already forming narratives without actually listening. She doubled down by saying, "People make ideas of what my intentions are, and I will willingly tell you. People want to hear what Karrueche has to say. The ones that love-hate Rihanna, the ones that love-hate Karrueche." Keke claimed her loyalty was to the community and to open conversation, not picking sides. But critics weren't convinced. Now fast forward to today, and that same argument is coming back around. People are pointing out that Keke is now publicly supporting Blueface, a man who's been widely accused of treating the mothers of his children poorly.
Blueface and Chrisean Rock really got the most toxic relationship on the internet. Did Blueface go too far?
You trying to take God's credit, bro? I'm taking God's credit, no. God sent me for you. All that passionate shit you used to be popping back in the day is crazy. Now it's a whole different story. Cause you're trying to say, babe, I didn't have no divine to my life. You didn't. You had a backpack and a pair of cleats. So what? That's your objective of me putting all this work in. It would have been somebody else. Somebody else would have did it. Did I come looking for Chrisean Rock divined already? Or did Koshana Rock come to me out of desperation?
How out of desperation? You're hosting a show. That's business.
You're a goofy bitch.
No, that's not true.
Okay, so it took something for you to get 7 tattoos, right, you goofy bitch?
Stop talking to me crazy.
Then stop being goofy.
To a lot of folks online, it feels like the same cycle repeating itself. Keke defending controversial men, then asking the public to see her intentions instead of the impact. And that's why the conversation around her judgment just won't die down. And now the conversation has shifted into something even bigger. What started as criticism has turned into a full-blown debate about responsibility, influence, and how much power celebrities really hold when they co-sign certain people. Online, more voices are saying this isn't about canceling anyone, it's about patterns and choices. When someone with Keke's reach moves a certain way, it sends a message whether she intends it or not, and that message gets dissected fast. People are also pointing out timing. This all comes while Blueface is dealing with ongoing public drama, legal issues, and non-stop accusations involving the mothers of his children. Critics argue appearing friendly or supportive in moments like this feels careless, especially when those situations are still actively unfolding. To them, it looks like entertainment being prioritized over accountability, and that's where the frustration lives. Meanwhile, Joe Budden hasn't let up either. He's continued to frame this as a broader issue in celebrity culture, where stars preach awareness but move differently behind the scenes. He's saying fans need to stop acting shocked when these moments pile up, because the signs have been there all along. At this point, the pressure isn't just about one decision, it's about whether Keke finally addresses the bigger picture. Silence, statements, or spinning it into misunderstanding territory won't land the same anymore. The internet's watching closely, and this time, people aren't letting the conversation slide quietly at all. And with everything now laid out in the open, a lot of fans are officially fed up, and the tone online has shifted fast. People aren't just disappointed anymore, they're angry. Some are saying Keke has formed what they call an unnatural alliance with men who stay wrapped in chaos. And while they still rock with her talent, they're demanding accountability when it comes to who she chooses to publicly support. In their eyes, supporting people accused of harmful behavior isn't neutral. It sends a message, whether intentional or not. Others are going even deeper with it. There's growing chatter that Keke may have unprocessed trauma that the public doesn't see, trauma she hasn't addressed yet, and that could be influencing her decisions. That theory has been spreading, not as a diagnosis, but as speculation about why she keeps gravitating toward controversial figures despite repeated backlash. A big part of the problem, according to critics, is how people still view Keke through a childhood lens. She came into the industry young, and many fans were introduced to her as a child actress who felt untouchable and harmless, someone who could do no wrong. That image stuck even as she grew into adulthood and started making more complicated choices. Now, though, that shield is cracking. The live stream with Blueface combined with Joe Budden's blunt commentary has forced a harsher spotlight on Keke Palmer's patterns. Whether people call it poor judgment, misplaced royalty, or something deeper, the conversation has shifted, and fans aren't brushing it off anymore. And honestly, this is the roughest part of it all. Right now, a lot of people feel like there's nothing Keke Palmer can say that would actually land the way she wants it to. Any statement risks sounding defensive, dismissive, or completely out of touch, and that's likely why fans haven't heard a word from her despite non-stop backlash. Silence might feel safer, but it's also letting others control the narrative, and that's dangerous territory. The question people keep asking is how long can she really stay in the shadows while this conversation keeps growing louder? This isn't just another trending topic that disappears overnight. It's tied to patterns, choices, and public perception, and those don't reset easily. Some fans believe she'll bounce back like always, while others think this could be the scandal that finally cracks her untouchable image for good. So now it's up to you. Do you think this blows over, or is this the moment that changes how people see Keke forever? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit like if this breakdown made you think, share it with someone who's been watching this unfold, subscribe for more deep dives, and I'll see you on the next one.